It worked again. Hi. What's up, everyone?
We did it.
We
Hi, everybody.
everybody. Nice. Yeah, I let him go first.
Hi, everybody.
We have a very
Of course you
raspy.
did.
We're gonna rename him. We should have called this episode Larry Jesse. I think that would have been awesome.
Right.
And I broke him a little while ago when I said that, and now he didn't laugh as hard. It was really funny, and I thought he was gonna cough up a lung, but no, he's good.
I thought I was too.
He's gonna power through.
I only have so many laughs in me tonight, so I have to ration the laughter out.
That's right. We're gonna power through. We're wheezing and all, coughing, wheezing, and
yep. Yeah, there we go. Indy, you do the songs. I'll play guitar and you can just sing them.
There we go. I'll do karaoke. Well, hey, you needed Jesse karaoke. Now, look, I filled in for Vanessa Beeley earlier today. So substituting for Jesse Jett and Vanessa Beeley on the same day. Who can ever say that they've done both of those things?
You're a Renaissance man.
You know, I have to shout out our last minute thumbnail dude, Mr. Big Man Crab.
Yes. Oh my God. This thumbnail.
You guys haven't
when I took the picture, I was like, I sent him the original picture. I was like, obviously my hands are way too close to the camera, but I'm like, I'm sure he can shrink those down. Or option B is leave them the same size so they're the same size as the fucking tires on the van. Yes, I look like a Zelda boss. I look like I should have weak spots in my hands that you shoot arrows into, or like Andros in Star Fox. It's so good.
Crab, this is version 2. Crab added the CIA sticker on the back of the van and a Langley this way to an actual nuclear Blacksite. Yes. That's great.
I love it.
And I threw in the touch of the episode number, which is an Easter egg, and the INN logo there down on the bumper sticker, because of course the CIA is a big fan of INN. Sure they are.
Right.
You know, so
Vanguard van totally has a CIA bumper sticker.
Yes, Vanguard van.
Yeah, that tracks.
Well,
that tracks.
Yeah, and it's black and white too. It's you know, they got the white van with just the straight black CIA. Yep.
So, my other ride carries water.
Cynic says, like, they cover half the window, right? Yeah, your hand covers. Well, hey, look,
right?
That's a little window in the back of the van. So Jesse doesn't have tiny hands.
Right.
Oh, come on, Colin.
Tiny
I don't even, who's that? What? Nah. That ain't it. Yeah, well, they're fixed. I thought it was fixed the other way. It was. But I've got it fixed. So we have a few things Jesse wants to get through tonight, and we're gonna be gifted on Christmas. We found out last week with a new album, hopefully. Thank you, Dave.
That's the plan, at least.
That's the plan, assuming that his voice can possibly hold out.
I have 5 more pieces to record, and I'm just waiting until I sound like me again, and then I can do it.
Let's get that moneymaker going.
Right.
So we're gonna try to take it a little easy on Jesse's voice tonight. Only do a couple of pieces. I know he sent me a couple of things, and there's a new spoken word which we're gonna be touch and go getting through that. Right.
Right.
But
yeah, let's go ahead and do that, because I think it's only gonna get more.
While we have the energy. Okay, so let me go to the Jesse reading lyrics. Whip.
So I wasn't gonna add any more onto this album. I figured this was good, and then I ended up writing this piece the other day after the new Beatles song came out. I just couldn't get over it. I feel like you can feel the moments that are AI rendered to bridge the gaps between demo scraps that they Frankenstein together. And when that happens, my uncanny valley peaks in a big fucking way. My alarm bells start going off. And it's so weird to hear that from the Beatles of all people.
Yeah.
Someone who apparently I'm more of a super fan than I thought, because Spotify let me know I was in the top 0.5% of Beatles listeners this year. So
Wow.
I was doing pretty well for myself. And that's off of like really 2 records, maybe 3, but 2 that got a lot of rotation. But
I think that
yeah,
I guess there aren't a lot of Spotify listeners that are rocking the Beatles, or they already own it like on
well, maybe not all
vinyl,
the time.
CD.
Yeah.
It's in their library. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't never stream. I wouldn't even think to stream a Beatles song because all the ones I want
Yeah.
I have and own, and they're in my library. So,
and it was a big year of like, I want to go through this record front to back kind of stuff. And I did that a lot with Beatles. But yeah, once I heard that song, I started just kind of thinking about AI in general, and not just our application there, but other times we've tried to use that, like the Freddie Mercury hologram tour. The idea that death is not the end of your obligations as a performer, as an entertainer. There's not a relief from that on the other side. So yeah, this piece came out of it, and I actually have this very well might get turned into a song, because I have a chorus that might go really nicely with this, but that's not on the menu tonight. So yeah, here it is in spoken word form. This is America by Proxy. Posthumous synthetic beetles, USA by proxy. Toxins in your water, tiny plastic in your offspring. Plastic in the groundwater, plastic in the clouds, oxys in the reservoir. We tried to flush them out, but we didn't move them very far, just out into the river, where the critters didn't want it, but we nonetheless delivered. Impact isn't something we historically consider till our waterways are fetid and our crops are dry and bitter. And we won't connect the dots before the heavy cost of winter, before the DNC would have us vote for lesser Hitler. America by proxy, propaganda for beginners. It's Jimmy Kimmel interviewing chatbot Heinrich Himmler. As those who march for peace are being gassed by the police, a separate, safer crowd demands the bombing never cease, until all that's left of Gaza are its ashes on the breeze. Only then can the oppressor soundly sleep. America by proxy, 2023. It's the AI-rendered Beatles John and George were forced to be. It's AI-rendered Edith Piaf singing on your screen as the wishes of the dead are dipped in piss behind the scenes. That's what gives that hideous, uncanny valley sheen, that plastic sort of lifelessness that's seeping out the seams. But the hologram of Freddie they tried passing off as queen will tell you death does not release you from contractual routine. It won't free you from the leeches that already drank you clean. Those suited, smirking parasites are not so quick to flee. Your body won't be cold, but they'll be plugging tours and teas. They've plotted out your comeback. You just won't be there to see. It's America by proxy. One giant failing mall, a year at most from shutting down and leveling it all. And once it's been demolished, I'll come leave a ring of salt and pay respect to John and George. I know it's not their fault. That is actually the end of the spoken word segment of it. So I accidentally forgot my chorus lyrics are tucked into the end there. So that's a wrap on the spoken word version.
Nice. Oh my God, dude, there's so many good nuggets in my God. Like you hit something.
One giant failing mall.
This one, it's the AI rendered Beatles. John and George were forced to America by proxy 2023. It's the AI rendered Beatles. John and George were forced to be. Holy crap, man! Holy crap! Holy crap! Ah, yes. Oh my word! That is poetry right there. Like that. That's a tweet.
Oh,
that's more than a tweet. Like that's.
You're right.
It's worth a lot more than a tweet. Don't tweet that. It's worth a lot more than that. But holy shit, that is wow. Okay, awesome.
Thank you. Actually, real quick, go ahead and scroll down. These are the lyrics for the chorus. I loved the idea of tacking this on here. I wouldn't, because I hate AI, but I thought, what if I put a bunch of my songs into an AI piece and then asked it to play devil's advocate and be my counterpoint? And how fun would it be to just destroy that fucking thing? So I wrote, I'd like to take my whole discography, cram it in your generator, dial it to Zionist. Make my very own Antichrist, Jesse Jett, but fascified, then settle things with violence. In half a line I'm dialed in, leave him no identity to shield behind or hide within. I'd like to pull out all his talking points, disconnect his socket joints, then play the tiny violins. Cue the tiny violin, sorry.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's America by Proxy. So that snuck its way onto the record at the tail end, but that's it. That's 13 tracks. I got five left to go, and then we're a wrap. So we're close. We're very close.
Yeah, you're crapping on AI Beatles, which I love the fact that you're doing that. It is,
yeah, that hurt, man. I wanted to like that. I wanted to give that song a pass really bad, but it really, there's something. It's like the same way, like when you're a kid, the first time you see like a broken arm or something, how unnatural it is, how your brain just like rejects that. It's the music version of that. It's hearing something that's like, oh, this is a crime against nature. Hang on a minute. This is not okay.
No. These bad. Just get Tom Cruise to play the lead. Okay, what are we doing here? Yeah, dude, that was so sick. And you know what? I think that the people, even from the writer's strike, I don't know if you know what's going on with the writers, with the SAG-AFTRA, but there's a good chance that they could reject this deal with the studios and reject what the union made. So there's a lot of it is about the AI rendering, and they're not really happy with the provisions and the protections. Yeah, and it's only for 3 years to begin with. It's only with certain companies, and there's still questions about some of this language I was reading today. So I think some of the people, the fact that it's plastic and it doesn't quite feel right, and a lot of this rings true for them, and this would really resonate.
Man, you really just segued us to the next piece pretty nicely, I gotta say.
Yeah, how about that? Oh wow, it's almost
so,
like
I thought
that.
If I got to the halfway point here on this record, and then all of a sudden I hit a big vocal roadblock. And originally I was going to wait. I was going to finish the album, and then I was going to, do the listening party. And obviously we still will. But I was like, I feel like I should bust out one or two recorded pieces. Not that these might not get some last minute mastering tweaks. But for the most part, these are good to go. These are done with the recording process. So first up is Backwards from 5, which talks about the writer's strike, and specifically how invasive the AI aspect of it is. Owning someone's likeness in perpetuity is such a terrifying concept, and I'm sure one that made the powers that be just as hard as they're capable of getting over it, because it's just such invasive, soul ownership.
Well, it's not just that. It's the one-time payment to own it forever for them. That's just
exactly.
Oh, yep. That's exactly. Yep. Look,
you got your 8 hours pay, and we have you for whatever we want to fucking use you for.
Literally, like beyond your lifetime. Yep. That's what that's you just mentioned exactly that, where it's that death doesn't even end your career. That you still are required to work even when you're dead.
Yep. And that's what, the day I actually wrote that, I wasn't finished with it yet. And then I saw that they are going to make a movie about Edith Piaf, the French singer, and we're going to recreate her voice using AI. And like, man, I don't, everyone's belief on the afterlife differs, but wouldn't it suck to be a performer, and like there were a lot of ups and downs in your career, and maybe you were glad when it was over, and then here you are being made to perform again, that you're a commodity. After death, you are strictly surviving as a commodity. That just really, really irked me.
Like,
But
girl,
then,
you know it's true
yeah,
in perpetuity, basically.
Yep. But seeing it happen with the Beatles, like, we didn't need that song. We are so good with the amazing stuff we have, and all their demos are so much stuff you can go through. But just to be able to say it's the last Beatles song and have that fanfare felt like an unnecessary attempt to stay relevant when you're already the goddamn Beatles, and B, just icing on a cake that's perfect, that is only going to be ruined when you put some cheap fucking shitty store-bought AI rendered icing on it.
Yep.
So,
yep. All right. So I'm gonna
thanks for coming to my TED squawk.
I'm gonna do a screen.
God damn it, I got myself on that one.
Squawk. My Ted Creek. Yes.
See if I can get some crackle here. Hang on.
Nice. Oh yeah. We're getting
there it
feedback.
is.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's juicy.
You know what's really, really good for that?
Apples. All right. So let's play backwards.
I'm only human. I still have to smoke once in a while.
So you know what?
Otherwise, what's the point of any of this? You know?
I actually, now that I think about it, I can bring up the lyrics if I think about it, because you sent me those and I hadn't really thought about it till
yeah, you can.
now.
Look at you.
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah, and I don't think I changed them. If I did, it's one little tiny, like, I probably didn't even annotate it anyway. I probably changed it in the recording and left it in the lyrics.
Okay, so we have
the way I do things.
All right, now hopefully you still won't hear yourself in going backwards from 5. All right, let's go.
Yep.
Oh no, that's Jesse Jett,
Okay,
the Curse
here we
Medallion. Wait, not yet. Wait.
So you have heard,
both.
for what it's worth, the version of Kings of Colony that I have on Bandcamp. That is the album version. So far, that's the only album version thing I've put out. All
right.
Yeah. So here's the next single, I guess.
I have us queued up. Let me go to the.
You know, the radio stations are wanting a single. I got to give them something. So here's.
All right, here we go.
Here's their single.
Maybe that's how it goes. We won't open our eyes, so we're the last ones to know. We're the last ones alive, kept our enemies close, wondered why we don't thrive, while we're grasping at ghosts, counting backwards from 5, counting backwards from 5, counting backwards from 5.
Count back from 5. The theater on fire, the cast on strike. The studio stock starts taking a dive. The contract's tossed and they're gone with the tide. The heads and execs, their hands are tied. We can't pump this track and treat you right. But what do you expect from the industry type who survive by the leeching of bodies and minds? From those who original thoughts never seem to find. So they're gonna reboot Alf before your wages rise. And it gives cause to pause and reflect on the times. If they're losing control of their fools and their mimes, when all those obedient actors who grew their careers by averting their eyes are now holding the line, along with the authors of countless scripts that strengthen the hand of that corporate grip, squeezing our throats till we take the pen and we accept and consent to the corporate drip, till you're all up to date on your pharma du jour, till you got a healthy support for the war on your lips. And now you know that the advertisers need more than a rerun summer full of flashback clips. Enter the scans from the year before, all the days of de-aging and mapping the face, and the hours of actors recording their voices are links in the chains that will bind them in place. Now all of those shows are so easy to make. When they got a drone they control that needs no break, it can bend, it can break, and it's cheaply replaced enough up-to-date films all in one take. And those studios bank on us doing our duty, unhinging our jaws and digesting the fakes, because they know that we'll love how synthetic it tastes. Watch as they edit your features without any trace. Not that there's anything you could do anyway. Now watch as they show you a movie of you saying shit you would never say. Dystopia boldly accelerates. Maybe you're only a mold, something to fill with a clone, something that Elon would celebrate. Something they own, something they program and code, something that's woefully able to know it's exanimate. 'Cause it doesn't feel touch over top of the laminate. You will not feel an emotion, but they will not scan and examine it. You and the other consumer contaminants fed on the federal diet of Kiev, Havana, and Tiananmen. I can't be the only one weighing the pros of abandonment. I can't be the only one weighing the pros of abandonment.
Where did you think we'd go? Love, there's nowhere to lie. Guess it's not who you know, more it's what you can hide. Like we're chained to the floor, they're streaming us live while we're watching the war, counting backwards from 5, counting backwards from 5, counting backwards from 5, counting backwards.
All right. And that was backwards from 5.
Was that did that happen to be the first one I sent you and not the final one?
Well, that was the final one. I just played
It was final one.
That was final.
Weird. Okay. Well then, to answer your question, Cynic, yes, that was the final mix. I just need to take down the echo more still. It's still a little more reverb heavy than I would like on the vocals, but yeah, for the most part, that's thank you. Thanks, man.
That's a labor, like an actor's labor anthem, really. I mean, who's written anything for studio actors like that? Really? Nobody. Now I hear echo. Are you too close to your mic or something? Is that what it is?
I might be.
I might be hearing your earphones through your thing. But anyway, we have got, I don't know if you're vibing what you feel like doing. I know we have that other one that you
let's
sent
go for
me
it.
over, which was the Curse
I do,
Medallion.
especially this feels fitting and a little weird now that Kissinger's gone. But yeah, this I had heard this in an episode of the 80s Sherlock Holmes series. I've been looking for a good choir to sample, and I heard this choir piece. I'm like, oh fuck, that's the one. So pitched it down a little bit, slowed it the fuck down, and yeah, I figured it's a good backing for the Cursed Medallion piece, which does have the echo on this is intentional. I wanted this to feel as much like the beginning scene of some like fantasy movie as possible, like you're listening to a narration of a story, because it's really the only thing on the album that isn't about actual events. So I thought it worked as a nice little departure. So yeah, Indy, if you want to fire it up, and you have
I got the lyrics up. I got the lyrics up.
Yeah, beautiful.
Words,
so yeah, this is the album version of Jesse Jett and the Return of the Cursed Medallion.
All right. Let me open with media player. I'm going to mute my mic. You should probably do the same, Jess.
Carved upon a marble altar, somewhere in a lab, are runes that match an amulet upon an onyx slab. Doctor in a white coat, guards in olive drab. Kissinger unconscious, but as Providence would have, When the doctor stands beside him and he holds out the medallion, unconsciously, instinctively, he reaches up and grabs. Deep inside a Blacksite that is right beneath our streets, the sacrifice was made by which they demonized our speech. The roots that fed the tree of life decayed beneath our feet, and its sap was a suspension for a small medallion piece. As the doctor starts to sway a bit, he takes the vial and places it inside of Cheney's heart that it might never cease to beat. And I wish it wasn't so, but no, the final piece to mention is the one that fueled our overlord's unholiest ascension, to afford him zero comment on the char and the distension on the bodies in Lahaina, or that growing sickly stench of every Black Rock vulture gathered for what Biden paid as rent on the medallion shard they gave him on the eve of the convention. He had seen its strength extend the life of all his favorite vermin, and the peace that he inherited had come from Father Thurmond, another artifact he had been gifted by the Germans to see one's will made manifest, one's destiny determined. A note attached read, "All our best, Werner, Fritz, and Herman. May you marinate in Wehrmacht that ferments behind the curtains." Now here we are today, and Biden keeps it on his person, if Biden's what you'd even call a person. And the curse is something ancient. It is raw abortifacient that they shoveled down the throats of those who built and birthed a nation. It is fused into those corpses, funding war on all occasions, and it's all that's kept McConnell from a state of vegetation. It is carried by the Senate doctors, whispered by the nurses. It's a perk to keep you perky for your centuries of service. It's the concentrated evil that's been powering our purges and coaxing every coup along, the dogs and drones and dirges. The nations we have raped because they would not consent to purchase. It pries our leaders' eyes awake and drives our country's urges to the darkest point where human hope and human truth converges. So look in Biden's eyes and see the rush on which he surges is the same that lit the flame that burned your churches. And those flames have had their day to see the vessels burned away, but the medallion, unscathed, always emerges. For as election season licks its lips and smells its purpose, there at once appears a motorcade of hearses. The calling of the pit like a liturgical insurgent, skinning off a sermon from the verses. He clutches a medallion of which he is just a servant, falling down a path with no divergence. Now some people wonder loudly just how low a man can go. Well, somewhere in a lab they've logged effects of pure immersion. How long can someone lay upon that ancient onyx slab before rising up a wholly different person? How blackened can one be within the ink of human greed before their voters start to see a different version? How corrupted from within before you see it in their skin? How blighted till it rises to the surface? Till it bleeds into your eye, or you stand from time to time staring off into the press like they were comets in the skies? How long until your arteries start clogging up with flies? How long till child labor phantoms haunt you in the night? How long has the medallion been deciding who survives? How long till it demands a higher price?
And there you have it.
And that is Jesse Jett and the Cursed Medallion. Now, I think it should be like Joe Biden and the Cursed Medallion, or or better yet, my alternate title for this one is still "That Precious," and you can actually record that in your voice.
I really could, right?
Right?
That's funny.
There's got to be something where he says something in that Gollum type of voice.
Right.
And he's holding on to this. Like I'm literally envisioning, yes. I mean, and I see everyone like they're imagining this being a PBS special, and hilarious. Wow, it's so good. I mean, oh man, it's been a week. It's been a month. It's been a even Kit, like 2023 has been a shit year. Somebody said like when will this a year ever fucking end? Like
Right.
it just keeps piling.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get it.
been a
We're gonna get a
doozy.
new album at least. So we're gonna get a Jesse Jett album. So we had earlier this year not only the Lahaina album, but you also dropped a couple of. You dropped the one from East Palestine, and then the Sky Slam shot. That was in
Yeah.
February,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was March. That was it this year, technically. For like album releases, because Extremist was Christmas Eve of last year.
Yep. Exactly. So, but then we have
Yeah,
the
so,
RFK piece, and then there's Meat Speaker.
Worst case. Yep. And that'll be on here. Meat Speaker is actually opening up the album. Meat Speaker is the piece I decided to pair with my sample of Mitch McConnell freezing up in front of everybody, which I'm tempted.
Speaking of McConnell, I got to show you something in the lyrics for.
You know what? Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's do it. Hang on. I'm gonna send you this, and then we're gonna play it.
All right. So Curse Medallion. By the way, I don't know how many of you picked it up, but if you were reading along, there was an update to the lyrics. Let's call it. It's all that's keeping Feinstein in a state of vegetation, and he changed it to McConnell because Feinstein's dead. And I think that every 6 months you should update the song.
Oh god damn!
Because there's always going to be a fossil. So
it's true,
dude.
That's so good.
The one with, and then the piece with where the little piece of fucking Joe Biden's thing belonged to Strom Thurmond. Oh, dude, that's just in so many ways. Holy shit! The first time I heard that, I absolutely lost it. All right, so now I have to change this to McConnell. Yes, that's. So I was gonna stop it, or I was gonna like put like a. You know what? I got a better idea. Feinstein, and then I'm gonna slash through that one, right? And then I'll put McConnell after it, and we'll just keep. How do I strike through? Boom. I'll have to mess with that, and I'll strike through, and then I'll have McConnell afterwards. But I'll strike through this one, and that'll be so funny. Okay, so Jesse's dropping me something now. Okay,
life is short, and I am not going to gatekeep this piece and make you guys wait, especially since I don't have a whole lot to offer tonight. We're gonna debut one more, and that's Meat Speaker. That's the opening track for the new album.
You're
I feel like it sets a really good
song. Nice.
I am another song.
I gotta download it.
I feel like it sets a really good tone for what I tried to do with everything on here. All the spoken word pieces have some accompaniment, be it something little or something like the choir. I wanted everything a little more fleshed out, but then some of the songs are a little more sparse so that it kind of keeps things level. A couple pieces will end up just being acoustic, Kings of Colony, Dust of Better Days. And then I kept Backwards from 5 really, really stripped down. But this sample, when I first saw Mitch freeze up for the first time, I hate that we have to specify, but the first glitch, the whole time I just heard that open space, that long span of empty space after he stopped talking, and I was like, I should be talking right now. This is my moment to start talking. Like, that's what I want to do. So that's what I did.
Sampler.
And it's really fun because you get to know shit. You really get to appreciate what was said around him in those moments. I really kicked this up as much as possible so you can appreciate people going, what did he just say? Oh, he's stuck, one lady says. And then him coming up to Mitch and saying, do you have anything else you want to say, or do you want to go back to your office? And Mitch goes, huh? And he goes, do you want to say anything else to the press? and then they shuffle him away. And I was like, yeah, that's my cue. Let's fucking do it. So it should have gone through. It will be
I got it. Meat speaker final mix. There it is. And I got the lyrics up. Hold on, let me open this up.
This week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
let's go.
Are you good? Mitch?
Okay, Mitch? Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your office? Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Our greatest threats are lesser evils, joining hands to hold us back. Worried looks from heartless people, tearful words from soulless hacks, faux concern from thieves and rapists, thoughts and prayers from Epstein's friends, moral laws from fascist racists, healthcare laws from Cigna's pens. Bought and sold progressive leaders say we're starving much too loud, but all I see are meaty speakers talking down to hungry crowds. Squad and all their sleazy leeches feast on workers plump with clout, stalk them through the tallest grassroots, track the unions, drag them down. Reap their labor, eat their labor, none too proud to suck it out, none too shamed to freeze your wage, then beg for change like fund me now. Rush me $20 or our democracy will surely drown. Rush me $20 so we can cluster bomb 100 towns. Rush me $20 and once you've emptied out your bank account, you'll get to say you've made us proud and BlackRock gets to take your house. Just rows and rows of perfect clones of vacant homes, raised to bones, then carried off by corporate crows, beneath a gaping sky where nothing lives and nothing grows, but hungry money swells and bloats, and money-hungry grifters gloat to fleece the coats and trust and votes of sheep and sacrificial goats. They coax their hopes like open throats, where leeches feast on helpless hosts. The offer sees their beast invoked. The BlackRock altar belches smoke. It rises that the world may know they've christened 2 new CEOs, one for press and public show, and one that just the board will know, who wears a crown of migrants' hands, who smiles when the cities flood, who has been anointed head to toe in workers' rights and children's blood, who bought the bill that soaked organic vegetables in fracking mud, who made his billions banking on technologies for tracking us, who filmed us every day as we kept smiling where the camera was, and streaming from our cancer clusters, chatting up some Langley bugs who take the time to listen when you think that no one gives a shit. They're nice enough to help you sew your Discord into stripper clips, lead you to an act that they have planned out like a business trip, show you where the buzzwords go when manifesting manuscripts. It's manufactured terrorism, crafted by precision tip, sanded past all recognition, ground beneath clandestine grit, carefully conducted by the feds in the orchestral pit, watched by millions, none the wiser, smiling wide, applauding it. So who yells fire in the theater when they don't smell the hint of smoke? What audience enwrapped and eager rises up as one to go and flees as from some gnarled reaper, leaves the actors there alone? Who would hear one frantic teacher, warnings blared through tears and foam, say, rob yourselves of entertainment, leave your seats, but don't go home. The war outside is greater than these actors care to show. We've one night left before containment. Early dawn, they'll drop the dome. The streets tonight need all your anger. Playing now, the fall of Rome.
That's how we're kicking off the new record, folks.
And I figured I would scroll through a couple of blank pages, kind of like Mitch's mind at that point. All right. Dude, so good. I love the press conference sound. The entire the background music is the press conference. Like that might be the first song that could ever claim that ever. So you're breaking records, Jess. Would you like to go back to your office, sir? Sir?
He goes, and the weakest little he's like, do you have anything else you want to say to the press? I'm like, oh, I do. Me, please.
I just shit my pants is what he would probably say if you really asked him. But yeah, that's.
And then, I had to spark up the bowl. That was like the perfect moment when he just goes, as well as a string of
if he weren't just an
awesome.
Absolute fucking monster, it would be awful to laugh at that. But if there's anyone on this earth that deserves it, it's Glitch. So fuck him.
I loved the meme that said, what was it? Before you say something mean about Henry Kissinger, take a breath and see if you can come up with something meaner.
Something worse. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Ding dong, the butcher's gone.
Yeah, I was really at the peak of this that night. I felt like such dog shit, and then I opened up Twitter, and I'm like, no, oh my god! And you do that. You have to double check and confirm, and like, yeah, it happened. I'm like, oh man, I was gonna go to bed early, but like. I have to pour some whiskey and stay up and scroll for a while. We've waited for this for so long. This is going to be the most joyous day. We needed it. We really, Twitter, we've been through a lot, man. And we needed some cheering up. And I was like, okay, I can look back and have, there are two potential stories here. One that's not worth telling, which is Kissinger died and I had the flu and I went to bed. Or Kissinger died and I had the flu, but I stayed up and drank whiskey anyway, because fuck that guy. So that's the one I opted for.
Well, I think that's the obvious answer, really.
Yeah, and I'm working on a playlist right now, about 6 songs into a mixture of like classic dance bangers, like Celebration, which I normally don't like, but under this instance, I'm like, okay, Celebration. It's a Beautiful Morning by the Rascals. Then we're gonna throw in some like Bomb Track by Rage Against the Machine for the You're Gonna Burn, You're Gonna Fucking Burn. Songs about fire or being on fire, and then celebratory dance numbers. That's where my Kissinger
we don't
playlist.
Need no water, let the motherfucker burn.
Rest in piss, bozo.
Burn,
is
motherfucker. That cake is a good one. Come on, party people, throw your hands in the air. Yes,
that's
I'm a
that
90s
was
guy. Was that Bloodhound Gang? That was Bloodhound Gang. Yes, that was
Bloodhound Gang.
That was also really good.
But
also 90s.
But I will go for the Cake version of War Pigs.
Ooh, that's good too.
I feel like that's a good fit.
I also was a big fan of Twisted Sister, Burn in Hell. You're gonna burn in hell. that one was obvious. Be no evil, see no. That's
and
great.
Of course I had Holiday in Cambodia on there because it just felt like it's a Kissinger playlist. I mean,
sure, it
the material writes itself,
So. Because I don't think we got anything else tonight. I just wanted to show people what else is going to be coming up later on this week.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night,
tell them what they won.
Tomorrow night, you've won INA News with Reef and Colin, and Colin's going to be live not from the Blacksite, but from Atlanta. He's taking a trip down to.
Oh, thank goodness.
See somebody. No, we're not sending him to the Blacksite just yet. Thursday night, I'm still
wait for me.
I'm still working on if there's going to be an anti-war person joining us on Thursday night for the anti-war INN Palestine Unity stream, or if we're just going to push that off till next week. We've got somebody committed to next week. Still waiting on them for this week. I know Yeti wanted to do it this week. We may do something. I don't know. But Thursday night at 10:30, Himbo and I will do Nobody Wants to Work Anymore live. Friday, we got a busy day. Friday we've got Tora. She's live at 1. I don't even know. Actually, I don't. She told me I think she's going to skip this week. She's taking the week off. Angel's got a stream. He did one tonight at 6 with Willie Bragg, and he's going to do another one Friday at 7, and it's going to be also kind of like a game stream, but it's more going to be talking about gaming news. And I heard something about Chase Miller potentially joining, and maybe even Alex Knight coming in from the West Coast, as well as Big Mad Crab and Himbo. So that's going to be a good old time talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 and the release of the video. Just the trailer has driven people absolutely insane.
You know, to me, the best thing about those games has always been the soundtrack. San Andreas especially. My best memories are like the cops in full pursuit, me at death's door, driving off the boardwalk under a hail of gunfire to Freebird. So when they opened up this trailer with Tom Petty, I was like, oh fuck yeah, like I'm already there.
Oh, you know, so
yes, please.
For me, it was more the Miami ones. Like I dug the Vice City one. For me was really the ones that the
radio stations, the talk radio stations in those games were always
80s music was so good. Okay,
yeah.
So that's going to be, so Friday night, Angel in the afternoon at 7, and then at 10, Himbo's going to do an actual game stream where he's going to do a game. I don't remember which one he's going to be playing, but he already told me and he sent me the thumbnail, and I was crappy and I forgot to bring it up. Saturday night, we're going to run boats. I don't know if it's going to run at 10. It may run a little earlier because I don't want to be up against Oz and Shanda. It may even run late. We may run it at midnight and do like a midnight show for the React channel, and that'll be fun. And then Sunday night, Reef and I are going to be back for How Do We Miss That? And that'll be episode 102. Unreal. So yeah, we had a couple of, speaking of glitch, McConnell, we had a couple of glitches here on Sunday night, and stream crashed twice. Then I rebooted, everything was fine. But I've had cable out, and they tell me that there is some kind of a problem, some kind of line spike or default. They need to replace the wire. So hopefully Friday I'm going to be getting new internet wire, and we'll have even more stable streams going forward because I've been screaming at them. Yeah, we got a lot of shows going on top of, check out I was on with Misty on TNT Radio, Misty Winston show on tntradio.live. You can probably check the replay. It's probably up live now. If not, it'll be up by tomorrow morning. We have a podcast. Hey, by the way, there's a link in the description for American Tradition podcast. So, and we're going back. So if you missed the early episodes, we just did the Vote Blues No Matter Who on the podcast. It just published from.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's how far back we're going. Like, it's more than a year old. So some of the stuff that we're talking about, some of the people we talk about, it may sound a little funny now compared to where we are. And sometimes it may be, that it was prescient, but I thought it was fun to go back, and we're scheduled out, I think, through like the end of January with episodes of American Tradition. There's also a podcast I set up for Nobody Wants to Work Anymore. So we're doing the podcast thing now, and I'm hoping that as an audio, we've got such amazing soundtracks. I feel like we've got 33 live performers. This was, kind of a throwaway night a little bit, but 33 live performances
from a live performance standpoint. Yeah.
Right? But I mean,
for sure.
I have always been a huge fan of the concert albums, more so at sometimes than the studio album. The way they tweak things a little different, and the way they mess this timing up a little bit, and it makes the song that much better sometimes, or more unique at least, and you remember it. And like, we needed to do that. So by all means, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you can download American Tradition, and the links are in the description on all of your podcast platforms, as well as on all the video platforms.
Boom.
Other than, Blacksite, is there anything else you've got that you're plugging that you're doing soon? Are you doing any? Well, you're getting
not
healthy.
Really. I've got Yeah, no, actually, so a long time ago, there was a band I used to play shows with back in Florida, called Troika. And they were really great guys, really fun band. And there was a song of theirs that I always loved that one time at a gig we played together, I hopped up and sang harmony on it with them. So then anytime we did a show together, I would sit in and do that. Well, their guitarist got a hold of me, and he's re-releasing the couple albums they had done back then, and the bands have all gone their separate ways. But he was like, as kind of a cherry on top, I wanted to re-record that song and have you do harmony on it. So he has the singer's original vocal track from way back when that he's gonna send me so I can put a harmony on as soon as I'm back to sounding like myself. Be able to throw a harmony on that. So I'm super excited because it's a song I've always loved from a band that's really near and dear to me. Yeah, so as soon as that materializes, obviously I will be sharing the hell out of that on Twitter because I'm just really, really excited about it.
So cool.
And then other than that, already kind of plotting a spoken word album for as soon as Blacksite's finished. But I'm not letting myself work on it until I've finished this fucking album.
And 2 episodes ago, you spoke a piece. It was like an old piece that you were working on with somebody that hadn't been finished. You were going to reach out to see if you could, if you wanted to finish it. I don't remember
yes. That was Ruling Class Clown Show.
Yes.
And that's John Siebel's, the guitarist from Eve 6. And I did reach out to him and he was like, absolutely. He was like, as soon as you have something recorded for me to put guitar on, send it my way.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So I'm very excited about that too. So yeah, I just gotta get my voice back and then we're in business. So.
Nice.
But thank you guys for hanging out. Especially when I sound like this, especially that, it seemed like a good night to debut a couple of the new things because I don't have anything else to offer you good people tonight.
I don't know.
So thanks for hanging out as always. So.
I don't know if I could call this Laren Jesse, Cessy Jesse, or Raspy Jesse. I think they all work, all 3 of them. But I think Cessy Jesse is actually pretty damn funny too. I think Colin would agree. Jesse is the daddy. Yes, I don't see that up there, but we got to add to the collection. So throw one up there for us.
We do. I am saving a whole bunch of these. I almost so one night, Colin, you made a post about how you were like going out for drinks with some friends or coworkers or something. And I almost made a post that was like Colin in 2 hours. And then it was every time that you ever said Jesse is daddy in chat. But I couldn't go through with it. But I almost did. I made the tweet. I put in the pictures. I had it locked and fucking loaded. And I was like, no, it's too much. And then I closed it. But I thought about it. I almost pulled the trigger on it.
Jesse's too nice. See, he's the daddy.
No.
But this is very funny comment. Gavin and Zach kidnapped Jesse. That's good. I like that. I like that because they're still upset about what serves as Vanguard. So they're still.
I do back early Chris Pratt. To Chat's point, when Chris Pratt was on like Parks and Rec before he was like shredded Chris Pratt. My son was maybe a year old, and he looked at him on the TV and he was like, "Dad," and pointed at the TV. I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it. That could be worse." Sure.
Wow. Yeah. Sure. Big shout out to Fred Edward.
Yeah,
Fred Edward had back surgery this week. He's home from the hospital, so recover and rest up and get well. And love you and appreciate you as always. And glad you're on the mend now.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
But yeah, I got to help him get back into his Wi-Fi. Apparently, I don't know if he was able to do it earlier. He asked me to reach out and help him out. So we're gonna do that, and yeah. So Cynic is asking if we're gonna do American Tradition in 2 weeks. I'm thinking maybe we should just hold off until after Christmas Eve, but that depends upon if you're looking like after Christmas, like.
Oh, that's true.
With the album,
yeah,
like,
you
I
know,
we could do a listening party the day after Christmas on the 26th. That would be Tuesday,
yeah.
And
so that's three Tuesdays out.
That's 3
and
weeks
honestly,
out.
that's probably about when I'm going to sound like myself again.
Well,
so
rest up your voice, finish up the album as much as possible.
Let's plan for that. So next time we sit down, we'll be yeah, that's fitting. I'm 34. It'll be episode 34. It'll be an album release. There's just a whole there's a word that's escaping me.
Yes.
That sounds like a good plan.
Symbiosis or whatever.
Talking is not my fantastic.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, writing words.
Synchronicity. That's the word I was looking for.
Coming up with words isn't Jesse's thing. You can tell by all the words that we put up on the screen.
Yeah, right.
No, not his thing at all. But yeah, also number 34. One of my favorite Dave Matthews instrumentals, also number 34. Pretty
a little
solid.
baby.
Pretty solid.
What if I can open up my head and let me out?
That's even raspy. That's pretty.
I still can do that.
That's pretty good. Here we haven't seen for a long, long time. I think everybody's got a little Dave in them.
She wakes up and I just pulled something on that one. We're good.
All right. I think that's it for tonight, folks. Yeah, we're hitting an hour, and thank you. We love you all, and we'll be back. Just Merry Christmas then, from American Tradition.
Yeah.
Listen up to the podcast. You'll be getting those between now and then. We've got playlists on YouTube as well. INN YouTube, a couple Jesse playlists, so you can listen to every episode there, as well as all the different songs and clips. And I got a bunch of stuff I'll probably be publishing out, individual songs and clips from the last 3 or 4 episodes that have not made it out yet, extended and just the song version. So, all right, man, I'm gonna say,
beautiful.
First of all, stop the genocide and free Palestine, and support independent media, because we need it more than ever, as Misty was also saying today.
Very true. They're dropping like flies.
All right, folks, have a good night. Love you all. Night.
All right.
Who are these people?
Indie News Network, collaborative family of independent content creators. Co-hosted normally by me, Indie. I'm founder and editor of Indie Left News and Indie Media Today. I got Reef Breland sitting next to me.
At Kennedy News.
Is Andrew Rivera on The Handsome Cynic?
Politics and Survival.
My name is Jesse Jett.
It's American Tradition.
What's up, Space Monkeys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden.
I mostly make art for INN.
Big Man Crab Joe. Keep up those great videos.
Hey guys, it's Yeti. Coming at you.
Hello, my name is Lucy from Blue Moon Red Wine.
This is Chris Legion.
Keep fighting that good fight out there, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Who are these people?